apply and fill the PMP Credential Examination Application Form, go to pmi.org and go to certifications and apply now, and again click apply now, where it will ask for your username and password which you have created before. Log in with that details. Here you can choose which certification you want to apply for. I'm going to choose apply for the PMP credential. In my other videos, I explained the eligibility requirements, but while we fill up the application, we will again review the eligibility requirement one more time. So I'm going to click apply for PMP credential. Now, because we have already entered our details when we registered at this website, as well as when we applied for the membership at this website, we already have this detail filled in. So if you don't need to change it, that leave as it is. If you like to make some changes, you can make some changes. If you look at the left side menu, you can see here what are all the details they would ask for. A couple of things I would like to tell you is you don't have to complete the entire piece of information at a single time, at one point of time. You can save your application and come back later and complete the application. So you don't have to do it in single sitting. Right. And the second thing I would like to tell you is once you start feeding in the information, the PMI will store your data for only 90 days. Within 90 days, you should submit your application. If you do not submit the application for 90 days, then the data will be deleted from their server. So you need to start the application process from the beginning. Not a big deal, just want to let you know. All right, so I would like to keep the same contact address. I'm going to save and continue, and I'm going to keep the same email addresses and phone number. Save and continue. All right, so this one is asking for the basic academic qualification, so you can go ahead and complete your educational detail. So I'm going to fill my um, so I'm just wondering which what qualification should I fill. Well, what they look for is a bachelor's degree plus 3 years of experience. Well, if you do have a master's degree, or if you do have a doctoral degree, it's up to you which one you'd like to put that in. But whatever degree you fill it, you need to make sure that you have that degree certificate with you, the final diploma with you, because you need to sort of take photocopy and send it to PMI only if your application is selected for audit. But it is advisable that keep all this documentation with you in case if you are being selected for audit, you need to send to PMI. So fill those information, fill only those details where you have the records available. So I'm going to put my IS qualification. So I studied at this university. So this is my country. So I'm going to just put my address and city. You don't, because sometimes you don't need the complete address of university, because university is normally famous. If you have the city name and the area name, it's more than enough. Right. So highest level of education attained, I'm going to choose doctorate. You can, as you could see, you can choose high school, associate degree, a 2-year degree, a bachelor's, a master's, or doctorate, as you like. And in which year the degree was awarded, you can fill it up. It really one question my student usually ask me is, um, does my experience needs to be post qualification, meaning do I need to show my 3 years experience after I complete my bachelor's or master's, or any of their academic qualification? The answer is no. right? For example, in my case, I finished my bachelor's degree way back about 15 years back, but I finished my doctorate very recently. So even though I'm going to put a doctorate, or in other words, it's not been 3 years yet after I finish my doctorate, but I'm going to show my highest qualification. So it really doesn't matter when you finished your academic qualification. All they look for is, do you have an bachelor's degree or master's degree? When you complete doesn't matter. Right. So I feel very basic information. They're asking, did you graduate from PMI GAC accredited university? Just check with the university if they are GAC accredited. If yes, you can click yes, or just click no. It really no, doesn't make any difference. Right. So I have completed my attained education. Now I'm gonna fill my experience as well as the project management education. Right. So here, this is the sort of a dashboard where it says you need to have 36 months of experience, because I entered my highest qualification is doctorate. So it will ask only for 36. If you would have selected high school, for example, it would show you 60 months of experience, right? So far I haven't filled anything. So zero qualified, as well as number of hours also zero. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start documenting my project management experience. Right. So just for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to type it in only one project. I don't want to spend too much time explaining the details. Or if I explain one project, it's more than enough for you. You can replicate the similar idea on other projects as well. So I'm going to add a project now. So it's asking what is the project title. Let me say website development of PM exam study.com. Okay. The start date and end date, let's say I'm going to say I started from the 1st January 2000, let's say 11 till let's say the 1st January of 2014. Okay, that's pretty much 3 years. Yeah. What is my project role? Now, if you're doing a project which is active now, you can choose the current month, right? So what is my project role? What did I work as? Let's say I did my project by myself, so it's going to be I'm the project manager. But it could be anybody. You could be a manager or a supervisor, or you can choose others and type in your actual project role. Okay, and which industry this project belongs to? That's an education. So that's it. So it's basic project information. Project title could be anything. So if you're working in a project, if you worked for a project, you do know what is a project title. So go ahead and type it in. Okay. So it is asking my job title in the organization, right? The one I typed before was different from this one. So this is my organizational job title. So if you have gone through the PMP training, you would know you might be working for a functional or matrix type organization where your full-time job role could be something else, where in your project you could be the project manager. So you might have multiple roles in your company. For those people who are working in a projectized organization like a contracting company or a project management company, your full-time job role as well as your project job role could be the same, project manager or something, right? So for example, uh, I worked as a project manager for the project, but in my job in my company, my official job title is, let's say for example, the director of the company. So I'm going to say director, right? So it's organizational name, Threefold Education Center. That's my company. Then I'm going to choose the country, United Arab Emirates. Type in the address, pretty basic details. Okay, and the organizational phone number. Right, that's it. Save and continue. It is asking who is the primary organization contact in case if your application is selected for audit, or if PMA wants to verify your qualification, they could possibly contact this person. They have the right to do so, but usually doesn't happen. Okay, so I'm gonna write the contact name of the person in my organization who can, verify my project experience. So I'm going to say my CEO name, and that contact person is my manager, and I'm going to type in the email address of that person. Okay, and also the phone number. Click save and continue. All right, so this is the deal here. Now this is where they ask you to break down the total number of hours you worked on the project. Okay, now how do we go about it? Like I explained in the previous video, you need to somehow break down the total months of experience into hours. Like, let me take this Excel sheet for the project. I showed from 2011 till 2014. So that's about 11, 12, 13, and 14. So it's about 4 years of experience I have showed, isn't it? So let's say if I work about roughly about 20 hours, 20 days a month times 12 months a year times 4 year. So I'm gonna work for 960 days. I worked on this particular project, and let's say if I'm working 6 hours a day, that's about 5,760. Usually I don't work that many hours on my project. I have other responsibility to take care of. For example, if I put 4 here, it is too less. I need to show 4,500 hours. So it's basically, a slight modification here and there, then you come up with the right number, right? So for example, so I worked on this project for about roughly about 960 days. um, that is roughly about 4,800 hours, right? This is something I need to distribute across my 5 process group. Okay, so I'm gonna call, give a 400 for this one, 1,200 for this one, let's say 2,000 for this, about 300. Let me put 1,200. Let me reduce this to 1,800, and let me put 400 for this. So sort of pretty close match, or the exact match is what we're looking for, right? So initiating 400, 1,200, then as I said in the previous video, you don't have to be exactly accurate, because as I said, it's not possible to be very accurate, right? If I really started this project back in 2011 and 12, how would I possibly calculate how many hours I spent on each of this process group? It's very tedious, right? So you take the approximate now value here. All right, so I'm going to go to my no the add experience page, and key in the number of hours I spent on the each of the 5 domain, or what we call as the process group. Right. Okay, now other interesting thing which you can notice is this: they also pretty much clearly defining what do we mean by initiating the project. Like, it means defining the project scope, getting approval from the stakeholders, right? For example, perform project assessment, define the high level scope of project, perform key stakeholder analysis. Now what I want you to do is sort of copy and paste this in a Word document, and keep it handy, because that's gonna be quite helpful for you in the next screen. All right, for example, I'll tell you why. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. Okay, so I'm going to copy this and paste. This is my initiating, and this is my planning. Okay, and this is performing, this is monitoring and controlling, and closing the project. Okay, so I'm going to click save and continue. Now, this is where it will be pretty useful for you, the one which we copied and pasted. So what they're asking here is, you should provide a summary of your project objective and your role, as well as the key deliverable and outcome by process group. Now, this is the most important one we're going to talk about. The description should include examples of how you led and directed this project. Ensure that your description is between 300 to 500 characters, not words. It's only characters, pretty less, right? So you can say, what is the project objective? Like the objective of this project is to create as a learning management system to prepare students for the PMP certification examination. Okay, so I'm going to say uh, an online learning management system. What is my role? I worked as the project manager. Okay, now here is the thing. They're asking um, um, what was the key deliverables by the process group. Now this is where you could use this sheet. For example, here all, all of these are key deliverables. For example, I did perform the overall my key stakeholders, so I can simply copy and paste, right? Which sort of satisfy the initiating process group. I did understood, I did calculated and worked on several of these. Like for example, I did created the work breakdown structure for my project, so you can copy and paste this one. I did develop the project requirements, constraints, and assumptions. I did that as well, so I'm going to copy and paste that information. Then I did not created few things here, but yes, I did obtain and manage project resources, right? And I did project progress monitoring throughout my project, so I'm going to copy and paste. And towards the end, I did archive those documents I have created, right? So pretty much that's about it. So even this alone is about 374 character. What they are looking for is roughly about 550 character. That's pretty much all you have to do. Is you can say just to no, prevent this, you can say in this project I took care of several deliverables. Okay, uh, deliverables. Okay, deliverables. Okay, where did I make a mistake? Several deliverable, including but not limited to, for example. Yeah, that's about it. You reach pretty close to 550, and that's all you need. So you have written the objective, and you have written your role, and what are all the key deliverables you managed as per the process group. Okay, this description should include examples of how you led and directed. So here we're talking about creating WBS, monitoring the project progress, so it's pretty much means I'm leading and directing the project. All right, so that's all you need to fill. Save and continue. All right, so you can see here my project covers about 37 months and 4,800 hours. This 2011 till 2014. Okay, so that's about only 37 months in my uh, in my uh, in my Excel sheet. So instead of 4, this could be 3, right? So it doesn't matter. Okay, and that's why you have this experience sheet, which is going to tell you the time what you put in, the from and through will be converted into how many months you had spent on the project. So this is a classical example of it. Really, doesn't matter how you do the do the calculation. This sheet is gonna give you the the overall, the the detail in terms of how many months you have, how many hours you have. If you have any shortage, you can of course go back. If you want to make some changes to it, you can click it and go back and you can make the changes wherever you want to, right? For example, if the number of hours is like 100 or 200 hours short, you can go ahead and make some changes to your number of hours, and you can see that will be reflected here. All right. One piece of advice: if PMI is looking for 4,500 hours, and if they are looking for 36 months, just show the minimum requirement. You don't have to really show your experience in terms of more than what is required, right? Just stay with the minimum. One good reason to do that is, if your application is selected for audit at a later stage, you have to support these project experiences. So you need to get the experience verification form signed by your supervisor or your colleague or your employer. So the less it is, the better it is for you when your application is selected for audit. All right, so that's how you fill the experience. We did satisfy the experience, so we can save and continue. It shows that we need to submit the education, so I'm going to click add, and it is asking what is a course title. Type in your course title. I'm going to type our course title, which is project management professional exam review, and our institute name. Okay, you can type in the start date and the end date. Let's say you started on um, let's say August to 2014 and went up to August 18, um, August 18 2014, and let's say it is 40 hours training program, um, and the qualifying hours also 40. This is something you need to sort of be careful in terms of. It is always advisable to do the training with an registered education provider, because the courses offered by the REPs or registered education providers are pre-approved by PMI. Okay, I'm going to save and add. Right, so there we go. The 40 hours. Ideally, this piece of information, you should take it from the certificate which you receive from your training institute, because again, if your application is selected for audit, you have to send them the photocopy of your training certificate. So make sure the details what you entered here matches exactly with the certificate you received from your training institute. All right, so that's all we need for the education. They're asking some referral question. If you want, you can answer them. Otherwise, you can simply skip it. Okay, and they're asking what name you want to appear on the certificate. If you want, for example, if I don't want my full last name, I can give only the initial, or I can go with the full last name. It's up to me to decide. And there is an agreement which I have to click. I've read and understood. Before that, again, they are reconfirming to you that this is how your name will appear. If you're happy with that, just click save and continue. So here is the agreement. I need to review and click I agree and save and continue. And at the final stage, it just shows you the checklist. You did complete all of them, and you need to say all information that I have provided is accurate and complete. Now you can go ahead and submit the application, which I don't want to do now because this is not the real application. I'm just demonstrating this to you. Now what happens after you click submit application is PMA roughly takes about 5 working day to review your application, and you will get an email from PMI that your application is approved. You can now make the payment to schedule the exam. Okay, now as you could see, none of the application requires you to upload any documentation. You need to support your application only if your application is selected for a random audit. Very few percent of the application will be selected for random audit. Having said that, you should keep the documentations ready, so if you're getting audited, you can able to complete the audit. You can also download your most recent application in a PDF form. Okay, so this will give you the online application PDF format. Okay, um, as you can see, you can take a printout of it and keep it with you, just in case if you want to use it in in future for any other purposes. All right, so that's all you need to do to apply for the PMP exam. As you could see here, the step number 2 is to schedule the exam. Then step number 3 is you would know your exam result, but you cannot schedule the exam yet because A, your application is not approved by PMI yet. B, you haven't yet paid the exam fee. All right, once your application is approved, we can come back to the same URL, certification.pmi.org. All right, where you can able to see a link to make the payment. You will make the payment. Only after you make the payment, you will know your application is selected for random audit or not. If your application is not selected for random audit, you can schedule the exam straight away. If your application is selected for random audit, you have to complete the audit process. And in my next video, I will explain how to complete the audit process in case if your application is selected for audit. Right, so I'm going to leave this page as it is. I don't want to submit the application. All right, thank you.